I want to know how it was to be you growing up. What do you think when you reflect back on your childhood? How is it impacting you, the way that your parents were being towards each other and such?
My mom and dad were married, but they didn't get married till I was about 2. And I have an older brother who's 4 years older than me, but he has a different father. So I didn't know him at all, just, barely seen him, but I didn't really know him. So my mom and dad lived together for, in regular marriage for probably until I was about 6. And then so my dad got addicted to drugs really bad, crack cocaine. And so I took him out of the home. At first, I saw a normal, typical, mom and dad, husband and wife relationship. When it hit, and this was, so when I was about 6, so this was early 80s.
Okay.
This is when crack first came out, so people didn't know anything about it. So the way people were responding to it, it was really strange. Like, people were not coming home, people couldn't function and do crack. And so it was tearing families up, and people didn't know it was something that had never hit families before.
Got it.
So for my mom, it was, she, chased after him, searched the streets for him, just, looking for him. So she did it for years. And she never got the victory, okay? So she could never, win him back. She could never do enough to rescue him.
Right.
From, her love couldn't rescue him. So she ended up divorcing him. So the first thing I saw was, you love a person and you chase them and you go after them. You don't give up, no matter how bad it is. You just keep trying, you keep trying. So she divorced him, but she ended up remarrying him a few years later.
Right.
But it didn't he couldn't stay clean, so it didn't last. But she loved him, and I believe she still loves him. But
yeah, but you're just like a little kid, and you're like, what's going on here? Because when we're little, we quite don't really understand what's going on. Was your mom sharing with you about what was going on?
From what I was seeing, it looked like my mom was the villain, because she was putting him out all the time. So I didn't know why he was really being put out. And so, as you're hearing more of the conversation, okay, he's on drugs, what does that mean?
Right.
Okay, he's not coming home, or he's taking things, So, I started putting things together. It was no sit us down and tell us what's going on. That it was more of a survival kind of thing.
The thing about being a parent, there's a line there as far as divulging the reality, because we already know that our children can't really appreciate the significance of what's going on. But we start to sense like, oh, that's bad. Whatever's going on, there's something bad about that. It creates a lot of confusion in terms of, who is the villain in this, and who's the one that is feeling powerless. So then for you, what was the message?
So I got 2 messages as a child. So with her, it was, my mom was a little weird, because it was, her love wasn't displayed with affection. It was with deeds, I'll cook for you.
Acts of service.
Right. So I didn't understand what I was seeing at first, but that was really my example. And my brother, how you hear guys, if they ever get their heart broke one time, then they just take it out on the world. And so now every other woman got to suffer forever, because the one got away and made him feel something, right? So he'll never feel again. So my brother was, he had that typical story. He's 4 years older than me. So if he's 18, 19, I'm like 13, 14, right?
Right.
And I'm seeing him on the phone, talking to a girl, and he said, oh, yeah, I love you. Yeah, and he'll click over and be like, oh, yeah, baby, I love you. He'll click over. Oh, yeah, sweetie, you my only one. And so I was like, what? Is this how men are? Because my dad wasn't in the home.
Right.
And so now my brother is the example of how men are. So now I'm thinking, oh, so I have an inside track. This is how men are. So I'm not going to let them do me like that. I'm going to beat them at their own game. So
Oh, yeah.
That's how I'm gonna be, because they're not gonna get me. I'm not gonna trust any of them. So I learned like what I don't want from watching my mom, and then I call myself get the inside track from watching my brother. So I got two really crazy messages that started me off.
Coming out of a childhood experience like that with those messages, that set you up for what kind of experiences did you have in your relationships in the past?
Always, from the time I was 14, I kept a job. And so I wouldn't depend on a man. So that's the part that I eliminated from my mom. Like, I don't want to need a man. And then the part I got from my brother, I'm going to have me 3 or 4 men.
And I'm not going to be attached.
Right. I like you because you funny. I like your car. You cook good. So it took about 4 to 5 to make one good one. Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna give my heart to one person because you're going to hurt me. Like my dad did my mom. So because of, my dad being on drugs and stuff, I matured really fast. I had a lot of responsibilities. So when I was 10, my mom had had a daughter. And so I had a little sister who was diagnosed with, she had some seizure disorder. And so she was having like crazy amount of seizures. And so my mom was working 2 jobs and she has 4 kids total. And, my dad is out the house. And so I ended up stepping up, taking care of my sister, as well as my grandmother was living with us and she had Alzheimer's. So from 10 to 16, I was, taking care of my little sister, my grandmother, and going to school and helping with my little brother. So from 14 to 18, I just saw my relationships as people. I've always been a people person, so it was just like, fun. And I didn't really...
Temporary.
Yeah, so I wasn't getting hurt,
Yeah.
It was like, you get a little hurt, but not like devastated, because
right.
I just,
Yeah, because you're juggling a handful of them.
So I met my husband when I was 18.
Okay.
And I got married when I was 19. I'm still married, so I've been married 20 years. And so, he was totally different from any guy.
Tell me
I had
about that.
met. He was honest. Like, if he told me he was going to be somewhere, all right. And I rolled up on him, and he was where he said he was going to be. I mean, how he honest? You had to check him, right? He had work ethic. He had goals. He was laid back, faithful. I was like, where they make you at? It just rocked my world.
Yeah.
It really rocked my world.
So, yeah, the beauty of that, right? The power after you get to a point where you're like, okay, this is real. This person is a real, like the trust starts. Mm-hmm. Like the consistency.
Right. And I wasn't ready. I was 18.
Yeah.
And I was like, you weren't supposed to show up? I had a plan. I was going to college, and I was going to get my bachelor's, and then I was going to get married at 23, 24.
Yeah.
You too early.
You're early. I love it.
Literally. And so I didn't know what to do. But
that's awesome.
We fell. So I really got what I went for. I literally fell in love with him that summer, and I was going off to college in Louisiana. He was going off to college in Carolina. He was a football player. I was like, when we separated, I was like devastated. That was the first time, like, literally, when he left a day before me, and everything in my body hurt. My stomach hurt, my head hurt, my back. I didn't know what was wrong. I was like, what did I catch? I was like, what? But I was lovesick, and I had never experienced anything because I had never given myself really to any. And then,
right, emotionally attached.
Right, yeah. And really, one person for real.
So you got married. Tell me, reflecting on how you've been being for 21 years with your husband.
Mm-hmm. Before we got married, we ended up living together like a year before we got married. And I remember we were making up the bed one day, and we're standing on the opposite side of the bed, and we're like, hey, nothing's going to change when we get married, right? So no, we don't know what people are talking about. Nothing's going to change. We're like, yeah, people are crazy. We're making the bed up. Nothing going to change. Our stuff change when you get married. And so,
yeah.
It's something like, I don't know if the permanency sit in on you and you kind of freak out a little bit, and I don't know, something crazy happens. Because I was so young, I ended up getting around some friends, mother. So all of us are, 21, 22. their mothers were more active and stuff. And so they started saying stuff to me like, I think you got married too young, and, you should be in college. And then I was like, well, maybe I did get married too young, and maybe I should be. And so I started freaking out. And I was thinking, I don't want to be married anymore. And so I was trying to run my husband off. So that was my thing at first. That's what I used to do to the guys, because if I leave you, you're going to keep chasing me. But if I make you mad enough, you'll leave me, and then I ain't got to worry about you coming back. That used to be my thing, to get rid of him. But no, I started doing it to him, but he knew what I was doing.
Oh,
so he didn't.
Yeah, he got your number.
He didn't go.
Oh. I want you to share about what led you to growing and being drawn to having personal growth experience. What was the draw for you, and how did that happen, and why did you decide, I think that would be good for me? Where did that come from?
It was, a lady in my life, Miss Nancy, and she was telling me that she had experienced this program that was, that saved her marriage. It helped her life. It just did all these wonderful things for her. And she was like, she didn't think they would have still been married if she had not done the program. And I didn't go into it with an issue, all right, because I'm good.
Yeah.
I didn't go in out.
Yeah.
You ask me, I'm happily married. 19 years.
I don't
boo-boo.
need anything.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go in there with a, can you fill this form out for me? I mean, I really didn't even know. I literally stumbled into it. The main thing I learned is how I was trying to receive love and express love. It was an experience I had in my childhood that developed a belief in me that if I don't work and perform for you, you won't love me. Okay, so when that happened to me subconsciously, it started driving all of my other relationships. So my friendships, look, what can I do for you? Can I take you to work? Can I do this, da-da-da? If I work for you, then I know you will love me. Same thing in my relationship with my husband. Can I help you build your business? Can I do this, You'll love me. With my kids, can I take you to practice? Can I do this, da-da? Then you'll love me. And so as long as I'm mobile, you're going to love me. So when I go through this weekend, I literally was at the point, I was going through the phase, then I would spend maybe 3 nights a week I wasn't sleeping. I was working all through the night, right? Because I was in school full-time, working full-time.
Yeah, your mind is not stopping. You're like, more goals, more tasks, more, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when I realized, I got all the way to the point of discovering the event that happened that started the belief that has been driving my life. It was an experience with my mom. So, I was working, taking care of my sister, my grandma, and all of that, all those years. And so when I was 17, my brother, I told you, was a drug dealer. He got sentenced to 14 years in federal prison, right? Okay. And my mom went to court, and at the time I didn't know that was his sentencing day, right? But, I'm 17, I'm ready to go out, and I've been home all day, keeping my sister and my grandma or whatever. I'm ready to go. So my mom is going all day. When she come home, she says to me, I said to her, I was like, Mom, where you been? I had plans, and that was before cell phones, so you gotta wait till they come home, or they, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't communicate. You just gotta wait.
Can't even contemplate before cell phones, but yeah.
Right. So, and she was like, so she was stressed, and she was like, whatever. And I was like, well, I'm ready to go. And she was like, you can't go. You need to stay here and take care of your sister. And I was like, she's not my child. And that was the first time I had ever rejected to do something for her. Now, all my life, the first time I had said no. And she slapped the taste out of my mouth. When she slapped me, I grabbed my $70 and I ran out the door, right? And I went to my aunt's house. I was so upset,
Yeah.
And when I left, my aunt was like, okay, I'm going to call your mom, let her know you're here. Everything going to be okay. I was like, okay. And she did. And I stayed for six months. My mom never came for me. So my aunt, she took care of me, She stayed, she got me a bed, my phone, my aunt loved me. She took care of me. But my mom never came for me. So after about 6 or 7 months, I went back to my mom, and I was like, I think we went to church together or something, and I said, I was like, Mom, do you want me to come back home? I was like, that's it, And she was like, oh. She said, yeah.
Yeah, what?
Then she wanted me to come back home. After I asked her, you want me to come back home? She said, yeah. So, but when I went back home, I went back to work. And I went back to take care of my sister and take care of my grandmother. And at that moment, I felt like if I don't work for her, she won't love me. Because the one time I said no, she didn't love me for 6 months, Now, I didn't know, of course, that's what happened, but that was the event that taught me that if you don't work for somebody, they're not going to love you. And so and I had been living off of that until last year. But since I, came to understanding the stuff that, drove me, of course I communicated it with him, and I told him, I said, I'm doing it to you too, and I'm putting some of the same stuff on you, and he didn't want to receive it at first. No. I said, no, I do. Yes, I do. I do it to you, and yeah, I'm doing it, and he didn't want to be like everybody else, so he kind of fought it to say that it's true, and probably still is. So, but I am being more clear about what I need. Like I am bolder and braver in communicating and articulating my direct needs. Of course, I'm not done, and we're gonna always be in the process.
Never,
but as
never
I'm
gonna
growing,
be done,
and then I can help others grow. I'm helping my kids, helping them process, because I'm helping them in their stuff now. Let's try to make your stuff smooth. That you won't have as much. You don't have to be 38, 39 going back and figuring out at 15 that when you stumped your toe, that's why you don't want to wear open-toe sandals. You know what I mean? Let's fix that now. So it's just trying to
cool.
Empower them earlier, with the stuff that I have now. So it's been good.
Wow. I really appreciate what you're sharing about, and I just want to invite you to get that love is something that we create just right now, just today, and not to be concerned about the future of your relationship. Just be committed to keeping it real today. Love is about understanding our partner and getting them and having them feel heard. But most importantly, acceptance for whatever it is for them or whatever it is for us. Like the self-acceptance, like it's unconditional. It's just a matter of, what do I need to say? What do I need to get about what you're trying to say? And we're just going to create the love today. And we know that our life works out, whatever that ends up looking like. And we are going to totally use up every cell in our body, being everything that we could possibly be before we die. And then we won the game. So thank you.
Thank you. You too.